The crackling of twigs under my boots was the only sound breaking the eerie silence of the forest. I had always loved solo camping trips, but something about this one felt different. The trees seemed to loom closer, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers in the fading light. I shook off the feeling, attributing it to many hours alone with my thoughts. That's when I saw him. Beautiful evening for a hike, isn't it? The man's voice startled me, seemingly materializing out of nowhere. He was tall and lean, with a withered face that spoke of years spent outdoors. His smile was friendly, but something in his eyes made my skin prickle. Yeah, it is, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. I'm just looking for a good spot to set up camp for the night. Well, you are in luck, he exclaimed, his enthusiasm a bit too forced. I know the perfect clearing, just up ahead. Why don't I show you? Every instinct told me to politely decline and move on, but the sun was sinking fast and I was tired. Against my better judgment, I nodded and followed him down the narrow trail. As we walked, he chatted amiably about the area, pointing out various plants and rock formation. His knowledge was impressive, and I found myself relaxing slightly. Maybe I had misjudged him. So, what brings you out here alone? He asked, glancing back at me with that unsettling smile. I just needed to clear my head, I said, keeping my answer vague. Sometimes the city gets too loud, you know? He nodded sagely. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. That's why I never leave these woods. They have a way of keeping you. The way he said it sent a chill down my spine. But before I could dwell on it, we emerged into a small clearing. It was perfect for camping, with a free area for my tent and a natural fire pit ringed with stones. This is great, I said, shrugging off my backpack. I appreciate the help. Oh, it's my pleasure, he replied, making no move to leave. In fact, why don't I help you set up the camp? It will be dark soon, and 4 hands are better than 2. I hesitated, not wanting to offend him, but also not comfortable with the idea of him staying. That's okay, I can manage. I'm sure you have your own camp to get back to. He waved his hand dismissively. Nonsense. I am in no rush. Besides, it's not safe for someone to be out here alone. You never know what kind of creatures might be lurking in the dark. I forced a smile and started unpacking my tent, hoping that if I got set up quickly, he'd leave. As we worked, the stranger's behavior became increasingly odd. He asked personal questions, then he changed the subject when I deflected. His eyes would dart to the woods surrounding us, as if watching for something, and more than once I caught him staring at me with an intensity that made my skin crawl. By the time we finished, the sun had fully set. The clearing was bathed in the silvery moonlight. I stood back, admiring my cozy setup. When I felt a hand on my shoulder, I jumped, spinning around to find the stranger mere inches from my face. You've done well, he said, his voice low and gravelly. But there's still so much to do before the night is through. I took a step back, my heart pounding. Thanks for your help, but I think I'm good now. You should probably head back to your own camp before it gets too late. He tilted his head, reminding me of a predator seizing up his prey. Oh, but I am exactly where I need to be. You see, these woods, they get hungry sometimes, and it's been so long since we've had a visitor. My blood ran cold as the implication of his words sank in. I glanced at my tent, calculating the odds of reaching my phone before he could stop me. As if reading my thoughts, he stepped between me and the tent. Now let's not do anything rash. The night is young, and we have so much to discuss. I backed away slowly, my mind racing, searching for a way out of that nightmare. Look, I don't want any trouble. Why don't we just go our separate ways? He laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the trees. But trouble has already found you, my dear. The moment you stepped into these woods, you become part of them, and they don't let go easily. I turned to run, but he was faster than I expected. His hand clamped around my wrist, yanking me back. With surprising strength, I stumbled, falling hard onto the forest floor. Please, I gasped, struggling to free myself from his grip. Just let me go. I won't tell anyone about this, I swear. His eyes glittered in the moonlight, manic glee spreading across his face. Oh, but that's not how this works. You see, the forest chose you, and now you'll never leave. As he spoke, I became aware of movement in the surrounding woods. Shadows shifted and swirled, taking on vaguely human shape. Panic threatened to overwhelm me, but I forced it down. I had to think. I had to find a way out. My free hand groped the ground, searching for anything I could use as a weapon. My fingers closed around a hefty branch, and without hesitation, I swung it with all my might. The impact caught him off guard, his grip loosening just enough for me to wrench free. I scrambled to my feet and ran, not caring about direction or path, only distance between us. Branches whipped at my face as I tore through the underbrush. The stranger's enraged owls echoed behind me. The forest seemed to come alive, trees creaking and groaning, as if trying to block my escape. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs threatened to give out. Only then did I dare to slow down, taking stock of my surroundings. The clearing, my campsite, they were gone, replaced by dense unfamiliar woods. The moonlight barely penetrated the canopy, leaving me in near total darkness. Leaning against a tree, I tried to calm my raged breathing, but the forest felt oppressive, closing in with malevolent intent. A twig snapped nearby and I froze. Straining my ears, I made out faint footsteps, slow, searching the area. I know you are out there. The stranger's voice called out. Early. Come now. You can run all night if you like. But these woods, they always lead back to me in the end. I bit back a whimper, pressing myself against the rough bark of the tree. My mind raced through options, each one more hopeless than the last. My phone is still in my backpack, back at the campsite, useless. The footsteps grew closer, joined by soft, unsettling humming. I held my breath, praying he would pass me by without noticing me. Suddenly, a hand clamped over my mouth, muffling my scream. I thrashed wildly, but whoever held me was strong. Shh! A voice hissed in my ear. I'm trying to help you. I froze, confusing, mixing with fear. It wasn't the stranger's voice, it was a woman. Slowly, she removed her hand from my mouth. Who are you? I whispered, my voice trembling. Someone who knows what he is, she replied softly, and how to stop him. But we have to move quickly and quietly. Can you do that? I nodded, not trusting my voice. The woman took my hand, leading me deeper into the woods. She moved with surety, familiarity with the terrain. We walked for what felt like an hour, pausing at times, changing direction suddenly. Just when I thought I couldn't take another step, we emerged into another clearing. This one was different. Symbols were carved into the trees, and in the center, a large flat stone covered in strange markings. What is this place? I asked, my exhaustion forgotten. Her face was grim in the moonlight. The heart of the forest, and the source of his power, she explained quickly. The stranger was bound to the forest, drawing strength from it to lure and trap the lost. But the bond worked both ways. If we severed it, we might escape. A bone-chilling owl echoed through the trees. He found us, she said, urgency, tightening her voice. Whatever happens, don't let him touch the stone. The clearing erupted into chaos. The stranger burst from the tree line, his face twisted with rage. He lunged for the stone. The woman intercepted, grabbing fiercely. I froze, overwhelmed by the surreal sight. But as he began to overpower her, I knew I had to act. A sharp rock lay near my feet. I snatched it up, and with all my strength, brought it down on the strange symbols carved into the stone. The effect was immediate and terrifying. A deafening crack split into the air. The ground trembled beneath our feet. The stranger shrieked, inhuman, his body twisting violently, as if being torn apart from the inside. Run! The woman shouted, grabbing my arm, pulling me into trees. We ran blindly as the earth shook beneath us. Trees groaned and toppled. I was certain we'd be crushed. But at last, we burst into a paved road. A car screeched to a halt. The driver's shocked face staring at us through the windshield. We climbed inside. As we drove away, I looked back. A thick, unnatural mist rose from the forest, obscuring everything. The last thing I saw was a twisted inhuman shape emerging from the mist, its agonized owl fading into the night. I never went camping alone again after that night. The wilderness now held a terror no rational thought could erase. Sometimes in my dreams, I still hear the stranger's voice calling out to me, promising that one day the forest will reclaim what it lost.